person I'm supposed to be tutoring? Yeah, cool. For math, right? Okay, great, great, great. My name's Peach Boy. Nice to meet you. Alright, perfect. So, with all my students, I always ask them to give me a little list of things that we need to work on so I can go through, make sure to hit each topic, you know? So, could you start off, let's start off by just having you list a few of the things in math, because that's a very, general topic, right? So just list a few specific topics that you're really having trouble in so we can make sure to focus on those and really make some substantial progress, okay? So could you start off with a few, maybe just 3 or 4 topics that you're having trouble with? Okay, so the first one would be addition. Okay, cool. Alright, next one. Okay, basic algebra. Perfect, okay. That's really fun, by the way. I love algebra. Alright, next one. Derivatives. Okay, some calculus. Perfect. Okay, we're getting a little bit tougher here. Great. Alright, next one. Geometry. That's a little bit broad. Would you mind narrowing that in a little bit? Is there any specific topic in geometry that you'd like to learn about? Finding angles. Okay, on a triangle. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright. Perfect. So how I do things around here is we go through a few problems, and I explain them to you, and then we'll have you try and do one on your own. Does that sound good? Okay, perfect. Alright, so let's start with the first topic that you gave me, which is addition. So we will just go ahead and write down a few problems, and then I'll have you do one. Okay, so let me just think of 2 numbers. What kind of addition are you having trouble with? 2-digit numbers. Okay, so I'll think of 2-digit numbers. Let's go 31 and 67. How's that sound? Sound good? Okay, cool. Alright. So with any addition problem, we're gonna put it together like this, okay? So we're gonna stack the numbers on top of each other, and the numbers are going to form columns. Okay, so that 1 and 7 is gonna be one column, and the 3 and the 6 is gonna be another column. So what we wanna do is we wanna start with the rightmost column, and we're gonna work our way left, okay, until we're done. So the way we do this is we add all of the numbers up in one of the columns and put it below, and then we're gonna go to the left column and do the same thing until we're done. So with the 2-digit number, you really only need to do that about 2 times. So yeah, let's get started. So we're gonna start with the leftmost column here, which is the 1 and the 7, and we're gonna add those up. So what's 1 plus 7? 8, right? Yeah. So we're going to put 8 right below there. And then what is 3 plus 6? Yeah, 9, right? Perfect. And boom, you have solved your first 2-digit addition problem. How's that sound? Pretty good, right? It's not too bad, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's do another one. This is fun. I love math. It's exciting. Okay, so I just thought of 2 more numbers. Well, one more number. I used 67 again. I don't know, maybe I just like 67. But we're going to do 55 and 67. Now this problem is a little bit different, and you'll find out why in a second. So what do we do first? Yeah, we look at the rightmost column, right? Which is the 5 and the 7, right? Yeah, okay, so what is 5 plus 7? That's 12, right? Okay, so here's the problem. We we don't just write 12 down below. What we do is we only put the 2 down there, and then we're going to put the 1 above the next column to the left, like so. So let me show that to you. So it's going to look like this, okay? And now all that you need to do next is you just add the 3 numbers in the next column, okay? And then it's basically the same, except you just split up the number if it's greater than 10, greater than or equal to 10, okay? Yeah, pretty easy, right? Okay, so what is 1 plus 5 plus 6? 12 again, right? And since this is the end, we end up just pushing the 1 there, so we can just write the number as it is, and it's perfectly fine. Yeah, so those are basically the 2 types of problems you'll see. So let's go ahead and have you try and solve one. Let's see. Give me a number. 22, okay. And I'll think of a number. Let's say 35. Alright, so 22 plus 35 right here. So how do we solve it? Right, look at the rightmost column, which is, yeah, the 2 and the 5, perfect. And what do? Yep, we add them up, perfect. And what's that equal to? 7, great. Okay, then what do? Yep, we're gonna go to the column to the left, which is, yep, the 3 and the 2. And, yep, we add them up and it's 5. Perfect. And, boom, you have just solved your first addition problem. High five, man. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Math is power over here. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. That's gonna be basic algebra. So we're just going to have an x, and then we're going to have to find out what x is. So really it's pretty simple once I explain it. So let's get started with that. Let's think of a simple problem here. So let's say we have 2x equals 2 here. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to isolate x, so that is just x alone equals something. So we're going to need to take away 2x and make it become x, and the way we do that is by doing the opposite operation from the operation that's being done to this. So what operation is being done to the 2x? It's multiplication, right? Yeah, because it's 2 multiplied by x, perfect. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Division, perfect. So all we need to do is divide by 2. That rhymed, that was pretty funny. So we're going to divide the x by 2, and remember, this is an equation, so whatever we do to one side, we need to do to the other side. So we're going to need to divide the 2 by 2 as well. So it will look like this, and then we just get the answer. 2 divided by 2 is 1, right? So we just end up with x equals 1. Pretty easy, right? So let's do another problem. Let's see. We'll do one with addition. So we'll do x plus 4 equals 7, okay? So what operation is being done to the x? It's addition, right? Perfect. And what is the opposite of addition? Subtraction. Good. So what do we need to do? Yep, subtract 4. Perfect. Yep, so we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. Remember, it's an equation, so what we do to one side, we must do to the other side. And that will give us what? So what's 7 minus 4? 3. Perfect. And boom, we end up with x equals 3. That's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, pretty simple, right? So we're going to have you try a problem now. It's going to be a little bit different, but I think you can handle it with the concepts you just learned. Let's see. Alright, so we have x over 3 equals 6. So what's the first step? Yep, we're going to look at what operator is happening to the x. And what is it? Division. Perfect. So what do we need to do? Yep, we multiply. And by what? Yep, 3. Good. And do we just multiply the x by 3? Or what else do we need to do? Anything? Yep, we multiply the 6 by 3 because it's an equation, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's do that. And what do we get? Yep, we get x equals 18 because 6 times 3 is 18. Perfect. So I think you got that down. That's great. Alright, let's move on to something a little bit tougher here. Derivatives. So let's just do simple polynomial derivatives right here. Okay, so let's say we have let's say we have this y equals x squared plus x plus 1, and we want to find the derivative of that. Now, this is what we do with any number or with any term that we have in our function. When we take the derivative, we look at, let me circle this. We look at the exponent right there, and then we bring that down in front, and then that's it, really. Okay? It's really not too difficult. So, let's see here. So if we wanted to find the derivative of this, we will go, the derivative of y, is y prime. That's just the symbol for the derivative of y. Okay. So we're going to take, the first exponent that we see is going to be 2, right? So we're going to drag that down, and then after we drag it down, we subtract 1 from the exponent. So we drag the 2 down, and then we still have the x there, right? And x is going to be to what power? 2 minus 1 is negative, or is it not negative 1, sorry. 2 minus 1 is 1, right? So it's just going to be regular old x. Perfect. And so for this second term right here, it has an implied exponent of 1, right? Because anything to the first power is just itself. So what we do is we drag the 1 down, okay? And then, so we have 1x, and then we subtract 1 from the exponent. 1 minus 1 is what? 0, right? And since we know anything to the 0th power is 1, it's in effect just saying 1 times 1, which is just 1. Okay? And this is actually, this is in effect just saying x to the 0, right? In front of that 1, because anything to the 0th power is 1. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to drag down the exponent, which is going to be 0. And it just makes the constant go away, because anything times 0 is 0, right? Yeah. So we end up with something like this, and we can simplify it, because because 1x to the 0 is just 1 and 0 doesn't even need to be in there, so it will end up looking like this. Y prime equals 2x plus 1. That is the derivative of x squared plus x plus 1. Okay, so let's have you try one now. So let's find the derivative of y equals x to the third. So what do we do first? Right, we look at the exponent and we bring it down, right? So let me just write y prime here. So we have that, yep, 3x, and then what is the exponent going to be? Yep, so we subtract 1, perfect. And so what's that going to be? 2, perfect. And it's as simple as that. Yeah, so derivatives really aren't that hard. Yeah, so I hope you understood that. This one's one of the harder concepts to learn, so we might have to go over that at a later date, but let's move on for now. So let's try and find angles in a triangle. Okay, so let's see here. Let me write up a little triangle here. Okay. So we have our triangle right here. It has two 60-degree angles and one angle that we don't know what that angle is. So our goal is to figure out what that angle is. Okay, so first thing you need to know about this is that triangles all have 180 degrees in them. So the three angles of a triangle have to equal 180 degrees. That is a must. So using that, we can set up a little equation to find the missing angle. So since we have two 60-degree angles right here, what we're going to do is we're going to write 180 degrees, which is the total degrees in the whole triangle, right? And then we're going to take the two angles that we already know, and we're going to add them up. And then we have that one value that we don't know. We'll just give it a name and we'll call it x. So that one has x degrees right there, right? So, as you can see, we just did this in basic algebra. It's a simple expression. So all we need to do is do what's being done to the x here, right? There's addition. So what do we need to do? Subtract, right? So we just need to subtract the two 60s. And what's 180 minus 60 minus 60? Yeah, 60, right? And boom, there is our angle. So really, it's not too difficult. Let's have you try one. Let me label this X. Okay, so we have a triangle that looks like this, 80-degree angle, a 40-degree angle, and X. So we need to figure out X. So what are we going to do? Yep, we're going to set up our equation. Perfect. And what is the equation? Yep, we're going to have a 180 equal to all of the angles added up. Yep, so it's going to look like this. Yep. Perfect. So what do we need to do now? Yep, we just subtract it off just like before. Really nothing to it. So what's 180 minus 80 minus 40? Right, 60 again, right? I didn't mean to do that. That was on accident, but you get the point. So we get x equals 60 degrees again, right? So, not too difficult. So how are you feeling about all of these topics? Good, good, perfect. I'm glad you learned something from this, and I really look forward to seeing you again so we can go over some more stuff. Math is super fun once you actually get into it and understand it. It's just important to have someone there to help you understand it. You know, sometimes teachers can be a little bit cold and distant and not accommodating to each student and their strengths and weaknesses, you know, and I understand that, so I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you guys, like everybody. I'm here to help everybody, but especially you since you're paying me, you feel me? But, yeah, anyways, yeah, so let's go ahead and set up another appointment, if you're okay with that. Yeah, perfect. Get out the clipboard. Okay, so when would you like your next appointment to be? Okay, 3 days from now. Perfect. Alright, I think we're all set then. I hope you learned something new here, and I look forward to working with you. Yeah, but once again, nice to meet you. Alright, well, I'll see you later.